Welcome to episode 57 of our Football Manager Hobo To Hero playthrough. So, I decided I want to do another stream. I have approximately 2.5 hours for this, so chances are we'll get to the match against Selangor today, away from home. Once again, third match of the season. In the last two matches we managed to get 2 draws, and to be honest the last one was a bit gutting. But we got a point. So, I guess for a relegation candidate, that's fine. So, for today, I have a list of stuff to do. First of all, we need to talk to the players about the last match's performance. I think that's vital right now. With the exception of Ankun, everybody is not in perfect morale just yet, so appropriate feedback seems to be in order. So we'll do that. So he conceded 2 goals, Shin. Otherwise, I think I'm quite happy with him. Oh, we can't give him feedback yet. So apparently we need to skip forward one day. Which reminds me, let's do other stuff first. So we will also need to set up personal instructions on some of the players. Say for Diego, for example. In his position as a box-to-box midfielder, he does roam from position. Does this fit his description? He has somewhat okay-ish off-the-ball movement, but really the rest of it is not that great. But at least he does have the work rate and the stamina for it, so I guess it makes sense. Which reminds me, we want him to close down more. Did I set it on personalized? Yes. So he can't do any of these things, I think. But he can close down more. That's a whole list of stuff for him to do. Or, well, more precisely not to do, I think. But it should help a little bit. RC does have personalized instructions, so that's fine. Same as Baru, I think. Yeah. So this all makes sense. Ankun going towards target forward. Probably too. Cross less, ease of tackles. The thing is, this would apply for everyone, so yeah. Here we go. More risks is enabled anyway. I guess we could go with more direct passing on him too. And triggering the press, I think I'm agnostic to specific instruction. His work rate and stamina are not impressive, but it's not horrible either. So we'll leave it at that. I also think we should talk to Zakaria at some point. It's actually on my list. So it said he's not interested in a new contract. But if we don't get a new contract done with him at some point, we will lose him at the end of the season, that's for sure. So I'll try to offer one now. Okay, he wants to be important player. So also this guy hates me, which is not good. I don't want to pay 150 though. So for now he earns 75, I think. So I'll start with that. I don't care about any of these bonuses, I think that's appropriate. Well, he hates me. So we'll try to start out with this. Okay, that's disappointing, he says. So let's go to 80. Some issues to iron out. Let's make it 85. I would also love a clause that extends this, but I don't think he will accept it. And I'm more focused on the wage right now. He wants a 3-year contract, so that's a very positive situation to be in. And the additional wage budget I'm very happy to spend on a player like this. So did we offer 80 last time, I think? No, we offered 85. So we'll stick to 85. Come on, man. Maybe go 90. Okay, he's pleased that we've almost reached a deal. So I will try to force the 85 here. And then we will renegotiate this deal later to decrease some of the bonuses if it works. It works! That's good. So that's an increase of 10 euros per week, which is basically nothing for his services. He wanted 150, remember? That's really, really good. So apparently he's not that focused on the monetary aspects. That might have to do with him being level-headed. So maybe the agent acts on, I don't know, on his behalf, as we would suspect is appropriate. Let's get rid of this. Okay, he doesn't care. Appearance fee will probably be vital though. Yes, it is. And to a degree, I think the loyalty bonus is more important here. If we manage not to get relegated, I'm happy to pay a bonus instead. Does he need that at all? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, he insists on some amount of money. Okay. So I will flick through these a little bit. There's no memes on the Discord yet about every euro counting. That'll probably appear at some point. Let's see if he insists on this at all. He doesn't. That contract is a steal, I think. So now I'll try to extend this automatically in case we do not get relegated after 15 matches. Okay, he doesn't like that. Optional extension, I don't even have to try. Wage decrease in case we get relegated, maybe. Say 5%. Nope, too much. Alright. So, but that extends the contract with our best player. It doesn't really show in the star rating, but a 17-year-old that is a professional and also is level-headed is quite exciting. So, that's the best we can have. Yeah, 85 euros, I think this is a steal. So, very happy with that. Which means, if he accepts it, which I'm hoping for, we will have a good time. Okay. I also did some of the personalized instructions. Let me just check that box here. I literally wrote a to-do list. Okay. Now we need to talk to the players at some point, but first we will skip forward the day so that we can actually talk about the match. I think there's a gap of 1 week or something. And we will include a break here, given that it's processing. Or not. Club financials. So no response for the physio advert just yet. The month was horrible from a financial perspective. 25k in the red. Let's have a look at that. So we spent a bunch of money on player wages. Most importantly. Sure, they increased it a little bit, so that makes sense. Travel costs went up. Yeah, well, we need to take the plane, I guess, over to the remainder of to the rest of Malaysia, given that we're situated in Borneo. Staff wages went down quite a lot, so I guess that's a positive. But I think, yeah, it's more likely that we find the solution for this on the income side. So we get some TV revenue, which is fine. That will probably hit the target of last season too. No problem there. The other income was very low. Not sure what to make of that. Transfer, okay-ish. Fundraising is, I guess that's subpar. There's a bunch of categories that don't contain anything. No, well, I guess no sponsorship income makes sense. No prize monies, no players sold. This is all fine. There were 65k of investment last season. Well, they won't appear that soon this season. Alright. Pakrula has picked up some mixed personality traits. So, Bakrula is more determined than ever. That's good. He is not as ambitious as before, his sense of loyalty diminished, and he's not handling the pressure quite well. That's bad. So, looking at his mentoring group, we set one up for central defenders. He's really part of this group, just due to us hoping that the trade plays short, simple passes spreads to both of them. But I am quite aware that the personality in this, well, the personalities in this mentoring unit might not be the best. So we'll just have to deal with this. And there's actually also impact on Khairil Amat. A little more controversial and doesn't handle the pressure that well. That's not a major concern down here. He's a mercenary. Well, congratulations. I would like to get rid of him anyway. But let's have a look at these mentoring units actually. It's been a while. So we want to influence Kumar to turn into a fairly professional player here. We have a similar approach here. There's some loyalty and some professionalism in this group, so that makes sense. That's it. The quality of the player material is questionable anyway. And apparently we threw the rest into a group. And we have one balanced group here in hopes that we can influence Amat. Well, that won't happen. As you can see, there's no influence on him by this group. So there's nothing to be gained. Maybe some loyalty. He level-headed, maybe he is. So he's Mijia friendly. What about him? He's outspoken. Okay. So one can argue that at least the outspoken nature might go away on Rosley. So we'll keep this, but it might come at the detriment of some ambition on both of these. Who knows? Yeah, the leftovers group, I really don't want to deal with that. Alright. So performance according to the board is fine. There's not really much to say about hierarchy, and we will have a look at the scouting report next. So we don't have an analyst apparently. As a result, we don't really get a report. Selangor are very good. That I can say. So there's a lack of reflexes amongst the goalkeepers. Well, not on him, that's for sure. Communication's bad, apparently. Yeah, his communication is sick. So we are hoping for mistakes in defense from that perspective. But overall, the squad seems to be very qualified. Well, he can't jump, that's for sure. He can, though. Jesper Nyholm. That's very interesting. Well, we will not be able to sign him anytime soon, so we will just need to deal with it. Yeah, and same as in the last match, one central defender that is really well qualified might break our game. And then there's a bunch of positives here, obviously. So looking at the striker, holy shit. I have no idea how to deal with this person. Let's be honest. Scored in the last 2 matches, it seems. So we would need to shut down supply. He's a good passer. The last 2 matches were shitty for some reason. What's wrong with him? Well, we might stand a chance of marking him out of the game. Apparently he doesn't like physical pressure. That said, he's a good dribbler, so yeah, will probably result in a few free kicks. This is not as bad as the others for us, but we'll probably need to show them to the inside too. Congest the middle of the pitch and hope for the best. There's a Segunda Volante here for obvious reasons. He can also dribble. plays good passes. In general, hard to deal with. And this person. He's a good tackler. I guess we want them to play through him in comparison to the remainder of the squad, but the reality is he can also play a decent pass. It's not great, but it's something. So, I don't know. We could look at the scouting window again. So I'm almost confused here. They both scout Malaysia now. Shouldn't there be a list of assignments somewhere? No priorities, recruitment focuses, none is set. So they go all over Malaysia, well, all over our current league. But we will send him. That's Amran. We will send Amran to do ongoing reports on the next opposition. And there's no analyst, and this is why we don't get an analysis anymore. So we'll do that. I'm not sure if it was still applied already, but for now we should have a report on the next match. These two can be scouted, no problem, yes. So we'll do that. They all kick off at the same time, so we can't scout the third match. We don't have anyone for that. This is the appropriate training schedule. As you can see, we included a bunch of rest sessions last session of the stream. So we are still hoping that this results in less injuries than we had last season, but to be honest, without a physio, it's really bad. We'll just slap in the same schedule here. It automatically adapts this to a degree, and I'm okay with this overall. Same here. This seems reasonable. I completed the scouting of the two matches, so the matches are over and I skipped over it. Or not. Seems like we are still in 9th place though. That's not too bad. I wouldn't say we are best of the rest just yet, but mid-table, if we end up there at the end of the season, I'm okay with it. So just make sure we don't lose. We'll continue this for obvious reasons. So as soon as somebody comes in there, we know that either the wage requirements of the club have adapted, or that the people that are around and potential candidates to sign for us adapted their expectations for salary. But paying 50 euros a week is, that's simply put, not enough. We will not have a chance there. I also wanted to talk to the players about their last match's performance. So I should probably do that right now. Nobody wants to be recruitment analyst either. All right. We could have a look at our loans too. Current crop of players out on loan. That's a way to phrase it. So some of these are at least in 1-star ability. He didn't progress much as it seems, neither did he. Johari didn't either. Jafar develops. That's good. So I have some concerns with Jafar. First and foremost, the fact that he's a casual. Alright. Yeah, it's funny. So that's a wonderful combination on Football Manager's behalf, I guess. The worst personality ever, but apparently he has potential. So good luck changing his personality so that he can actually reach his potential. I don't like that. Let's say it as it is. Okay. So I wanted to talk to the players, can I? Yeah, we can criticize last game now. But I think it might be too soon to praise last game. So the problem is I did give feedback for the last match. Way late into the last week. And as a result, I can only give feedback for the last match apparently once a week. This is the way Football Manager implements it, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to skip forward until Thursday or Friday to give feedback to everyone because, well, we cannot shorten the frequency. But I guess it's not. We cannot shorten the time interval, increase the frequency. Okay. This Russian guy is still recommended to us, but... Oh, he's interested in a transfer. And the transfer value would be really low. He is susceptible to injuries, though. He's a balanced guy, and we have problems with foreign player slots, so I don't think I want to. There's fixtures today. The Piala FA. That's a cup that we don't play in. Or not yet, anyway. What is our Chorhority? Alright. So, is there a club here that needs to be scouted? I think there were some that are pools of youth recruitment, basically. I suspect most of these are, in a way, interesting. So, we'll just try 2 clubs from La Liga M3. Maybe Penang too. Well, I don't know. They all play at the same time, so we can only scout 2 matches. We'll send our scouts, hope that there's some valuable material in there. I doubt it though. Yeah, they didn't find anyone. Still, we tried. Okay. Bauru is unhappy with the high volume of strength training. I'm confused. There's no high volume of strength training, Mr. Bauru. Look at it. There's literally no strength training in here. There's endurance training, but no strength training. In particular, not in here. So that's just rubbish. Is he... I mean, I guess overall training includes strength training, but we will just criticize his performance in training here. How about a goal, 7.0? Okay, he doesn't want to. Alright. And Zakaria extends his contract. This is fantastic. So now he has great importance all of a sudden in the club. He is still set to be another player though, isn't he? Yeah. So he's still another player, but his importance in the squad just increased. At least the playing time that he's set for. And to be honest, he was an important player anyway. So we played him day in and day out. As a result, I expect him to be influential at some point. So maybe once he grows a little bit older, he will get influential. Become influential. And the match versus Terengganu has been rearranged. That's when? You gotta be kidding me. Of all the draws we could get in the Piala FA in the first round, we draw Selangor. In case you're not aware, this is a really bad draw. Well, it's a really great draw if we want to be devastated. And to add insult to injury, Selangor will also play at home. So, yeah. Not good. I guess the positive is we can have some sort of a practice session on the league game today. There's Terengganu in here, so we will just... Well, that's not right. So the 2-day gap here is a bit concerning. I think we'll do match tactics and bonding, maybe. Can't do any bonding, so might as well do... I don't know. Some defensive shadow play, maybe. The defending session here is probably too hard on them. So we will rotate this a little bit. There's no use in having low-grade sessions here. Or low-impact sessions here. No, we'll keep this. We'll do set-piece routines here. Alright. It's not fantastic, but it will work most of the time. I will keep this for obvious reasons. No problem with that. So, should be Piala FA. We can... Immigration got relegated from the Liga M3, but not so Mighty Tigers. We'll have a look at this. We'll also have a look at this. Harini are still a well-known club, so that makes sense. Yeah, it's a difficult challenge for sure. Let's see, the match is tomorrow. So we talked to Chin Seo Sun. Okay, we can't praise his last match anyway. So I guess we go through the squad, have a look at their last matches, see if we can criticize it just to, in hopes that it has an impact. And obviously I will do the same for training and stuff. So he conceded twice. We'll tell him. Training 8.25, no problem whatsoever. This is good. Christopher. The training is subpar. He did come on, didn't really make an impact. Can't criticize him for it, can't praise him for it. Let's move forward. Da Costa Lima was in the stands. Diego had 22 out of 24 passes, which is good. Can't criticize him, can't do anything else. So I guess we go about it from the training perspective at this point. There's not much else to say for the performances in the matches. I would need to find players that I didn't criticize or praise last match. Well, prior to the last match, and I didn't do that. So we'll just praise those that had good training grading as always. For example, Mr. Zakaria here. Harsh Sync 2, which is very good. I'm not sure if Mazrin plays well for now. Where is he? Mazrin. How did he play last match? 7.1. So there's no concern here. Badrul Hisham continues to train well. That's fine with me. Apparently we praise him too much. Khairil Amat, same. So, to be fair, he's really young, so there's only one way to go for him. That's not true. There's always the way to go, the direction sideways. And not much development. Mazrin trains well to a degree too. Same as Amat. So Amat had some playing time in central midfield recently. That certainly had a positive impact on him. McManamy didn't play so much. And at this point, we're getting into the I'm not so sure territory about praising them. I will definitely criticize everyone in here, though. That's also true for Diego. And this is average. Probably not worth talking about this. So against Selangor, we could also try to shut down, play some sort of defensive low block stuff. I do think we will go balanced into this, though. We are not in fight for survival mode yet. Let's have a look at the youth. So I think it will rain some promises here. Or some requests. Looking at the individual training, some of these are fine. So we will praise him for this. This is okay. Malik, that's one of our better players, by the way. I have my problems with the tries long range passes. Great. I think this is a bit concerning, given that we want him to be playmaker in the future. So he can obviously pull that off to a degree, and he will get better and better with it. The teamwork is a bit lackluster to play long range passes. But this dictates that he plays a lot of long range passes, even though a short range pass might be more appropriate. And I have my doubts about that. So, yeah. We will not untrain this on him, though. It's just the way he plays. He's done well. Das ist er. But the 7 point something ratings here are... I don't know. Could be better. Let's put it that way. Oh, well. Hamza, he's on a non-contract, unpaid. So we will talk to these two. And his performance in training, like the progression apparently is a positive. For whatever reason. But he doesn't train appropriately. So I'll criticize this. Okay. So he doesn't want a target. What about him? Neither. Sometimes they go for it. We'll criticize him. He thinks that would work. Alright. So we give him a training rating target, and the training rating target will be 7. Alright. That's better. Roslan. Criticize him. He would accept a training rating target. 7.0 is fair. Fantastic. And we will do the same all over again, as long as they accept it. So that comes with the complementary problem of a promise that we guarantee their future if they train well, but guaranteeing their future doesn't say they need to play in the first team. Yeah, they can just remain on a youth contract. And honestly, if we fire them, nobody will care afterwards, guaranteeing their future or not. Muhammad's training rating could improve too. Alright. Abidin, another problem. But we're getting into areas where, as you see, he doesn't agree anymore. More maybe. Okay. But there's no targets to be had here anymore. So still, hopes are it motivates them to train a little harder. That's what I'm hoping for. We got here way faster than I thought. Terengganu and Johor DT face off. So that's a top clash. Hopes are we can pull off surprise. behave similar levels of professionalism. That seems questionable. Oh, he's fairly pro. So, yeah, not sure. But it could imply that they have professionalism that is above average at least, which is good. Then we have Amat here. He's resolute, so he has professionalism. He's a former resolute player. Obviously, he has still some professionalism left. Yilma is a surprise to me in here. That's good to know. And Lima, same. Kamarudin's not really here yet. We loaned him in for €7 a week, so basically nothing. And he's professional and reserved. To me, this is a permanent transfer, if they're willing to part with him. But the wage requirements are too high for now. Mendruk, on the other hand, has a contract arranged with Terengganu afterwards. We brought him in on loan. He was here for a week and immediately had a contract with Terengganu. I guess that happens with players. Thanks for making me aware, Mr. Amran. Thank you very much. I noticed. So, we trained Zakaria as a ball-winning midfielder. If you look at this, that's as good as it gets in a league like this. With personnel like this, with training facilities that consist of basically nothing, we will not get much better. Hell, even the pace improved a little bit. Great. And obviously he's in the defensive unit in here. Yes, he is. So, I guess there's a question. Diego is put into the attacking unit. I think that makes sense as a box-to-box midfielder. I'm not so sure. Where the hell is Ankun here? I'm not so sure if Ankun belongs here, into the defensive unit. He does train as a deep lying playmaker, and sure, defensive attributes probably won't hurt. I guess we'll keep him in here. We do need the players to be defensively responsible. So there is some sense to this. And all of these are more or less attacking-minded players only. We can talk about Diego maybe, but, well, it doesn't matter. By the way, Diego made it through the entirety of the last match, if I recall correctly. Never mind, we took him off in minute 57. Still, we played him a lot, his sharpness is trash. Doesn't go up yet. And I do not have a physio or a sports scientist, so I cannot really provide information why that is. So, alright. Do we want him to trigger press more often? Not really. So Fakrilla does know somewhat how to tackle. He's a good marker in general. Pace and acceleration are fine. On the physical side, he's lacking. I'd rather not for him to tackle hard, but these enough tackles is probably too much too. I think that's it. We could, tactically speaking, in case the team has the ball, we could tell him to stay wider. And the same with carrier. Given that we play with a halfback, that's not a dumb idea, I think. But who knows? On the other hand, well, it would help with creativity, but they are not good playing passes down the wings. So I'd rather for them to be in the middle of the pitch a little bit more and to be defensively responsible, I think. Mazrin is instructed to cross more often, that does make sense. Towards target forward, yet, well, Elbokchak still fills that role, despite being a presser forward. Dribble less, shoot less often, that's all fine. Anything else here? Take fewer risks or more risks. Well, his passing is 7, he has no vision whatsoever, and his flair is lackluster too. So, we'll take fewer risks on him. And with the tackles, let's have a look at that. It's 9. I'd rather not talk about it. Elbokchak still as a striker is new. Well, at this sort of striker. He can dribble though, so somewhat. So I'd rather keep that. This all is good. He'll be out for an additional few weeks. We could try to include Da Costa Lima at some point. Say for Christopher, just for the fun of it. But as you can see, it still violates the league rules. That will not go away anytime soon. We could start other players, but it barely makes an impact. Say we sub off the goalkeeper. It's about the total number in the squad, not about the starting players for now. This basically says that the bottom 3, they basically say one of the foreign players needs to be on the bench. Well, congratulations. So we can start 5. The problem is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 in the squad. So Yilma as well as Lima have a problem making it into the squad at this point, just due to being foreign players. That's it. It does force us to say we have a look at a player like him, or also the Indian guy. It does force us to play them out of position though and give them some versatility. So he will play as a striker, as a central midfielder, and in case we change formation as an attacking midfielder. He will play all over the place up front here. Which is good, because it provides playing time to them and we will need to learn how to deal with a smaller squad. So I think this is a positive. It may help with the development of these players. So it basically forces us to focus. I also want to scout this in case Kalanta. So this is a duel to the bottom of the league. Well, if we lose, we might be included in that competition pretty soon. But this is a duel that I'm interested in because there might be players there that we can actually afford. All right, we'll have to deal with no advice whatsoever, as always. And I do not think I want to change much. The team had a reasonable match last time. It was very unlucky that they conceded 2 goals in the end. Sure, Jin Seo-sum could have done better, but you can always say that about the goalkeeper, and to be honest, Mod Khalil wasn't much better either. In fact, his training rating is it's still 6.45. We'll wait until it gets better. And if he doesn't, really, I will wait until he starts complaining. That or performances in the league are so shitty that I feel forced in subbing him. In subbing Jin Seo-sum. So, how do we deal with the opponent? It says we should mark him tightly. So, he is an attacking midfielder. He gets paid about a third of our whole squad. Brave. He can jump somewhat from relation level. Off the ball movement's fine. Passing and vision are fine. Yes, we could try to mark him tightly. Sure. We'll try. I guess Zakaria is... He's a little smaller, but Zakaria does have the appropriate skill set to cover him most of the time. That said, in case Zakaria is busy with him, there's nobody else around to cover the rest. So one-on-one facing these people is hard. He's not the strongest that they could afford, if I recall correctly. That said, runs with the ball, shoots with power, all of this is entirely appropriate. We could try to ease off tackles here, but I don't want to. Just because easing off tackles too much with a striker is... He'll just hit the back of the net. Same here. A lot of running. We can try to show him to the weaker foot, so that he's forced to cross. That's hard to do though. And in this case, we can show him to the inside so he can't cross, but then he will play a nice angled pass. So in both cases, we're hoping that a weaker foot has major impact, but I doubt it. Halim, he is a defender. So the positive news here is we can probably leave him open, never mark him tightly, and force him to play through him. His vision is lackluster, same as the passing. In general, the mentals aren't that bad. He does have some composure, some decision making. Bad dribbling, bad first touch. Sadly, he is somewhat brave. That said, we can close him down. So, as I said, the composure is somewhat okay. It's only 7 though. His first touch is bad. So, if they play the ball towards him, we are hoping that we can trigger the press on him, and we can win the ball from him. That's what we're going for. And Azmi? Funnily enough, they decided not to play their best passers. So he's a little bit better, but not much in the passing department. Seems like a serious opponent defensively though. And he has way better first touch. So I would argue we still try to mark him out of the game. That's not the most important part, obviously. So these two, they can play passes and we're somewhat fine with it. That's really confusing for them to play them. This guy, on the other hand, is pretty good. Good dribbler, good crosser. It says he's an inside forward. They play him as a defender though. And it shows. He has no defensive awareness. Or not to the degree that we would expect from a squad of this quality. So we will show him to the inside a little bit. And to be honest, a ball between, behind him might just work. He's not that fast. How fast is our Barudo? A little bit more. So we're hoping that we can penetrate basically in this space. Which means that this defender needs to come out. He's fast enough to do that. And this is a good defender overall. He's just no good at passing. So no creativity whatsoever. We want them to play through him. We don't care much. He has bad first touch and composure and strength. So bad first touch and composure implies that we can trigger the press on him and maybe he will lose the ball. More importantly, bravery, dribbling, and strength are lackluster, so we can probably tackle him hard. That said, well, we do have a pressing forward, so why not? We will trigger the press on him. And in Sainy's case, his composure is way better. His passing is a little bit better. He does play short, simple passes though, so again, we don't care much. He will probably not play a long ball. Both of these are tiny. As is, well, Rodrigo isn't. So I have no idea what happens there, but they seem to play the B team. As a result, we should have superiority in the air, and we will float crosses. Is everyone instructed to cross towards elbow chuck still? Somewhat. Yeah, seems they are. Okay. Funny. So, they opened chances for us. He is not that, well, he's a 17-year-old, and apparently he has problems, he doesn't lift. So on the strength side, we can probably make an impact here. Composure is 7, first touch is 6, it's not great, but it's not that bad either. The 8 points of passing are somewhat concerning, but I still think we can ignore him. in build-up play, at least at the start. We don't necessarily need to mark him out of the game. So that's good. That's something that gets forgotten quite often, I think. The fact that no tight marking on some players also implies less running for the own squad. This might make an impact. That's a bunch of instructions here. So let's not forget about the goalkeeper. His ball distribution is very good. So we want him to distribute in a short manner if we can, because his own central defenders are shitty at it. First touch is bad. Communication is bad. Basically, we are hoping for a mistake in communication. Team selection has been done already, overall. We do want to trap them on the inside, I think. Just because in the middle of the pitch, we are more likely to have a turnover. And we'll keep this as it is. I think at some point, Zakaria will have hard tackles on. But his strength is not good enough yet. And say he makes it to 12 points of tackles, at this point it's a non-brainer. Alright, we'll submit this. So. They seem to be nervous. Motivated, focused, nervous, apprehensive. There's always the prospect for revenge, so we will do that. And given that this is an away match, so me personally, I think they played a B team, or a bunch of players that are between the ages of 17 and 19. So I suspect we actually have a chance here. The problem is the players don't really go take that way. They don't go that way. So we'll encourage them a little bit. We'll do a 1-minute bathroom break, and then we'll go to the match. BRB. Alright, let's go. So, we will play Selangor. I think they were the bane of our last season too. They are first in the league, they already played 3 matches. So, yeah, they won 2, had a draw. In fact, I think if we have a draw today, that's probably still a success. That said, we had a draw last time and it didn't seem appropriate in the end. Because, well, we led by 2 goals last time out, so maybe we can have something similar here. That said, the pitch is very different this time. Seems to be, in comparison to the last time, this is long and narrow. It's not really long and narrow, this seems to be some sort of standard pitch, more or less. Good pass by Harsey. Diego, he missed the opportunity. And now we probably retain possession first and foremost. Zakaria, Diego, not bad. Elbow check still. Oh, good first chance of the match. Not bad. To have a chance like this, it says expected goals is 0.07. I've seen Elbuk still score from these. RC with a cross. Oh, the goalkeeper comes to climb the ball. Barud would have been there. All on his own, without a defender. As expected, given that the left back is more of an attacking player. Cross by Mazrin. Ends up with Ankun? Doesn't. Diego. Seems like we dominate the... Well, not really. We do not dominate possession so far, but it seems like we have the threatening situations. Can Baru get this ball across? Yes, he can. RC. Far post header, and he doesn't hit the back of the net. Shit. They do seem to have a ton of possession so far, and this got intercepted. Now we have a problem. That is appropriate, I think. So, I expect us to be able to defend corners fairly well, due to the size difference. But they take a short corner here. There's a cross. And this ends up with Mazrin for sure. The only question is, what will he do with it? Nothing. RC. Back to Mazrin. Well, that pass exchange was somewhat useless. Diego, short pass towards RC. And he loses the ball. We could have done much better there. %30-something possession. They didn't have a single shot yet, though. Aria's pass was very lackluster, but it worked in the end. Baru. Ankun. Badrul Hisham. He doesn't really overlap, it seems, which is okay with me. That's... To me, this is a bad tackle. But apparently the referee decided otherwise. Carrier finds Diego. Parsi. This is a bit faster. Back to Ankun. Elbuk still. There's some open space out here on the wing for Badrul Hisham. Baru. Oh, come on, Baru. Why would you take the shot here? Elbuk still was in the middle. He should have taken a short cross or a pass or something. They could do way better there. Ankun with a long ball. That'll be intercepted, sadly. Yuslan. That could be offside. It isn't. And Mazrin is forced to concede a corner. Will encourage the team again. So overall, I'm happy with the performance so far. The problem is if you don't make your chances. Well, you know how it goes. Mazrin with a floated cross, that is. Fisted away by the goalkeeper. Oh, not bad. Really low grade chance, but the goalkeeper was caught out of position. If he had hit the goal, that might have ended in the back of the net. He's a good dribbler. Wah. Ball bounces through the penalty area, and Shin-Soo-sun does earn his wages. Those that you can't see, I would argue. Also, welcome back to the stream. In all honesty, I think the most important attribute in the game is professionalism. And the second most important one as well, depending on your perspective, it's either loyalty, if you have financial troubles. About the ones that you can see, well, depends on the player, obviously, and on the position. So, like, the way you framed the question is not that useful. because it depends. What a save. It depends a lot on what's the intent. That makes sense. So, I don't know, I could argue, for example, strength is really important on everyone. But that's not true. There's player types that don't need it. For a striker, though, it's vital. For most of the striker roles. I think there was... well... maybe I'll give you an example, okay? That's better, I think. Because you're asking for well, the way you frame it, you do ask for a solution that might not be that easy to get. So I'll pick Zakaria as an example here. This is a youngster. His best attribute is determination and balance. So determination is about, you know, pushing the ball back uphill in case things go against your will. That might be a thing. Okay, so is this an important attribute? Well, we do not plan in going behind in matches, but it can be. Depends on the way the match goes. Balance. Balance is, as it says here, how well he can stay on his feet. So that's a really important attribute for playmaker types. That's not the way he plays for us. For us, he's a ball-winning midfielder. So balance is not that important for him. That said, we could try to play him as a playmaker, something like this. So all of a sudden, balance is a very important attribute for him. And as you can see here, he has no off-the-ball movement and composure. So it's more about what's missing. That's not to say that his balance is useless in other situations. Is it the most important attribute for everyone on the pitch? No, definitely not. Like, there's a ton of roles that don't need any balance. Say, a central defender does not need any balance. He just needs to be able to get a better, of the attacking player. So as a result, strength, tackling, positioning, marking, and that stuff. But you can somewhat compensate with a lack of one attribute with the other. So the carrier example here is probably pretty good. Carrier is not good. I think we can agree on that. He can't jump though. He's somewhat slow. But, I'll go there. So in his case, he compensates for the lack of strength with good positioning and marking. So he might not get into the physical duels. And if he gets there, that's a problem for him. But most of the time, he will be positioned appropriately and out-jump whatever comes there. So that's fine. As a result, his performances have been okay-ish, even though he has his problems. And in particular, I didn't even go into the mental side. There's stuff there that's not good either. So, yeah. For a striker, depends on the type of striker. Again, there's no easy answer. So we play Elblock Chuck. This is an uncommon example. Elblock Chuck still is played as a pressing forward on defend duty these days. As you can see, there's a ton of stuff that doesn't matter to this role, like finishing, which is really a good attribute on a striker to have. You want them to score goals after all. That said, the primary concern in this kind of striker is to help to defend. He's the first defender on the pitch, basically. And there's some good examples for this kind of striker in history. That they can still be very successful. I don't know if you, for example, still remember Mario Mandzukic. He played with Bayern at some point, and they played him in some sort of pressing forward role under Jupp Heynckes as a coach. He was a pain in the ass to deal with. He had like 15 yellow cards within that season, always the elbow in the opposition's face, but in the end he did score. Because the defenders made mistakes or were impressed by all of this. Was he a great goal scorer? Well, I mean, his finishing probably wasn't bad, but the impact came from the way he interpreted the role. So from that perspective, his finishing might as well be 4. Like, I get that more is better, but it's not the primary notion of the role. And we can do basically the same with a target forward. A target forward with, I don't know, 15 points of jumping and 15 points of strength, that will be well able to dominate any defense most of the time. Well, depends on the standard of your league, obviously. But in my league, 15 points each would be absurdly high. We would be able to win basically all of the duels in the air. Now, if he comes with 3 points of heading, he wins all the duels in the air and heads the ball past goal. So it's not about one attribute only. It's always about combinations. So there's that. Yeah, but in that case, he's more like a poacher, most likely, right? Or maybe he's some sort of running role. I don't know, advanced forward or something. So he can't jump, but he's able to get into the space far more faster than any of the other defenders. So he still taps the ball in most of the time. And that's okay. So it's more about the interpretation of what's available to you. And this is why I somewhat reject the premise of your question, if that makes sense. But this is also why I went to the hidden attributes straight from the get-go, because they impact development and how they behave on the pitch and all that stuff for every player. So as a result, I think professionalism is the most important attribute in the game. Yeah, he will find open space all the time. So I would argue his next most important attribute in this sample is anticipation. It's not even finishing or composure or anything. It's anticipation, because that complements the sample of the attributes he already has. 19 acceleration and 17 pace basically means he will get into that room. 18 off the ball movement means he will find open space, in open play. But for these angled passes into the back of the defensive line, if you pass into space, so say there's somebody to provide these, he needs the anticipation to realize that there's a pass coming for that space. And if he has that, he will have tons of chances. So as long as you have tons of chances, yeah. So obviously then we're going into the finishing territory. Can he finish? Can he maybe go past his man with some dribbling? Can he do anything alongside that line of thinking? But I would argue it's more about samples of attributes more often than not. Like 4 or 5. In a playmaker, for example, obviously you can argue passing is the most important thing. But if they don't anticipate situations, have low composure, bad technique, and no vision whatsoever, that doesn't help. Also, just because they can play one of these passes, if the first touch is free, that's good. Great. Then they can play a long ball, a dead ball. But, yeah. And there's so much more, as you say. Hates big matches, for example, so he doesn't deal well with the pressure. Some sort of this player. As a result, more often than not, you look for players that are appropriate for your situation. And you're just hoping that you find somebody that fits the role well. So there is no going for one single attribute in Football Manager. And that's part of the charm of the game, I would argue. I brought in... Whoa, that was close. I brought in somebody that's on the bench right now. I'll just show you. So obviously this is way lower than your level right now. But I brought in this guy. This guy has 1 point of concentration. 1 point of concentration is horrible. But it might be that we can deal with it in a specific role. Now, for an attacking player, bad concentration is not good. And obviously he has a ton of other weaknesses too. But his personality is rather good. I'm not arguing the fairly determined is any good. He's a former Resolute player. He dropped 1 point in professionalism. So we know that his professionalism must be 13 or 14 or something right now. That's appropriate. He's 19 years old. Trains well. He's also level-headed, so some sort of loyalty is in here. That's good. We will probably be able to at least get some money back for this person. Just because I do not think he will drop much in value. Will he be good on the pitch? I don't know yet. He has good acceleration. So we'll try. We'll find out. But it's not always about what's visible at first glance. And it takes some... I guess it takes some digging, that makes sense, to realize that this player or that player can be used in this or that way. Going back to Diego for a second. Diego is a midfielder these days. One league below, the average jumping reach was like 3, even on central defenders. At least it felt that way. So we played him, despite not being able to play striker, we played him as a striker and as a deep-lying forward. So he did build-up play as a striker. He was a fake striker. Funnily enough, he did score. I do not remember the amount of goals anymore. 10. 10 in 19 matches. With an average rating of 7.29. Also provided 7 assists. He got us promoted. Despite not even being a striker. Just because we realized that he had the attributes that are needed to be more or less unstoppable in the league that we played in. So sometimes you need to come up with this sort of countering puzzle piece. I don't know, that's the wrong phrasing, but you get the gist. And if you have that, that's a level of satisfaction for outplaying the AI that you do not get anywhere else. Oh, that was close. So we don't really dominate the match here. And I very much suspect that in the end we will have a problem with a situation like this. Hopefully not with this one though. But we did have a chance so far. But Rula, that's bad. That's even worse. Close him down, man! We can see the corner, okay. So let's encourage the team again. We did have more chances, we did have the better chances in aggregate. It's, again though, a match of low-grade chances so far. And we gotta improve our side of this. Close him down! It's the man. I would expect Elbak still to get closer to his man, actually. He has good physicals, but for some reason he decided to drop back. I don't know why. It's outside. That was close. So, how's it going for you so far, Mr. Just an Ordinary Canadian? Yeah, that's intercepted. Maybe we should do a little more narrow. Good save. So I think we do have a problem with the fairly wide setup here. We'll go fairly narrow instead. Do they know how to do this? Yeah, mostly. No problem. Just to shut him down a little bit more. Oh! So you played quite a lot, or you do play pretty fast? Good. Yellow card for whom? Halim. Who's Halim? So we have a yellow card. That's as expected. Well, it's not really expected. He has 12 points of tackling, but we do not mark him tightly, we do put pressure on him. So as a result, he will end up in these must-tackle situations. And that's what happened here. Ankun will take the free kick. Not a bad one. Easy one for Mohamed, sadly though. RC with a corner, and the goalkeeper comes to claim the ball. Well, shit. That's not bad. So if you keep that up, you will probably have a good time. At some point, you will win the league. If you concede the least, that's always the basis. Scoring can vary, obviously, but conceding less is really important. That's some sort of wisdom in football that is disregarded quite easily. Because, well, it's not that fun to think about defensive stuff all the time. It does make the biggest impact, though. Ankun doesn't take a long shot, he plays a pass. Harsey with a cross towards Diego, okay. Carrier with a cross. Of all the people, Carrier takes a cross. The center backs on dribble more, okay. Do they know how to dribble? Ankun with a free kick towards Carrier and he heads it over the goal. Well, damn it. The chances have been there. Well, to be fair, the opponent had good chances too. Nice angled ball, Diego. Carrier. That lob goes nowhere. Wow. Well, I guess for my level that would be appropriate for a winger too. But then again, I don't play. I guess this is Premier League or something, right? Just from the attributes, this is top-notch player material, obviously. I don't have any players like this over here in Malaysia. So sometimes it's a little bit hard for me to realize the standards. That's the crossbar! The goalkeeper was beaten. Oh, shit. This is at least on the same level as Selangor. I think I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. So, I need to include another break. We'll watch the second half immediately afterwards. Let's go, second half. They made a substitution. Let's not go. What the hell did they do? They subbed on Pavel Gorbach. He is a bad passer, but has good crossing. Runs with the ball down the right, so we will show him to the inside and hope for the best, I guess. Yeah. So that's dangerous. As all of their players are, so far. I would hope that Zakaria had more of an impact in his role as a halfback. But it seems like, well, he has good passing. It seems like he doesn't really use that passing that much. Yuslan goes past everyone, goalkeeper comes out, that's... wow. That was really shitty defending. Long balls by Fakrullah I do not really appreciate. Elbow chuck still, and it's a offside situation, sadly. What's wrong with Carrier? Why does he play these passes? It clearly says, well, it says shorter passes and less risk. And I guess the situation is too risky for him to play a short pass. so he would need an opportunity to do that. Does find one here. Zakaria goes to Ankun, Fakrula, and Fakrula with a long board towards Harsi. Elbow check still. Ankun. Will there be a nice? Well, that was not what I was going for. I was hoping for a penetrating pass straight into the middle. That would have been the situation to do it. That said, I will also take a goal from this. We don't get it though. They subbed somebody on, and now they bring the cavalry, I guess. Rosley. Rosley is okay-ish. We can show him to the weaker foot. Low dribbling, low bravery, high strength, sadly. First touch is bad, composure's bad. Closing him down might be an idea. We can't close down everyone though. I guess we do it on him anyway. And Richmond Boakie is the best player in the squad. There's no way around it. So, I don't know how to deal with this, to be perfectly honest. We can't mark him tightly, we can't out-jump him, we can't... This is too good. So I'll just leave it as it is. What we could do is we could try to push away from the goal as a formation. But that'll be really hard. And obviously it opens up for counter-attacks immediately. It also seems like we do dominate the match somewhat. Or not. And I'll keep elbow check still on, due to the requirement for somebody that can out-jump the opposition. That's still a thing. They still have central defenders on the pitch that can't jump for sure. So there's that. Other players that might want to be subbed on. So Amat is focused. But there's not like a player that doesn't play well right now. I guess Zakaria doesn't play well. So we bring on Mandrock. Captain goes off. And maybe Mahazir for one of the central defenders, but this is really a thing. I guess for Khairil. Sure, tackle harder, probably not. Okay. Hopefully that helps. We didn't change much. And taking off the captain as always. I feel bad about it. But he doesn't play well today, so it makes sense to take him off. Maybe we shouldn't have given him a new contract. Then again, that was vital to be done right now. And obviously that stuff happens, of course. Jin Sung with a really vital save. Gorbach, he will out-jump him, won't he? It's a corner. This is hard. Again, header won by the new striker on the pitch. He's way better than our defenders. They have a hard time with him. We have 15 minutes. Okay. Let's try to use these 15 minutes in an appropriate manner. So, Diego did give it, I guess, whatever his best is. We will bring on Amat. Amat is somebody that can play a good pass, I think. Going towards target forward is still a thing. He does shoot less often. I don't think he should dribble. Ease off tackles and cross less often. He's not a dribbler, is he? He's not a dribbler. He can play a nice penetrating ball, though. So, I guess my question is... Can we include him somehow? He has 9 points of jumping, too. I wasn't aware. So, actually, we'll bring on Good as a striker. He can still out-jump the opposition. He's shitty at heading. As shitty as it gets. but he is somewhat fast too. And I think we will try to pass into space for the remainder of the match. We have players that are somewhat fast. Christopher would be an alternative. Yeah, but we have players that are somewhat fast. So hopes are we can get a goal from penetrating pass from one of these angled ones or something. In some sort of counter-attacking opportunity. It's a decent performance by Shin Sung today. He saved all of it. I'm really hoping that we get at least a draw here. That's offside. Well, minute 78. Do I want to waste time already? I think I do. I will take a point here. Mazrin. Amat. Mazrin again. There comes the cross. Not for Barul. Badrul Hisham. Badrul Hisham with a shot. That was one of the better chances of the match. Obviously on the wrong player, but we had it. Fakrula's rating dropped to 6.4. Well, defensively we are in a lot of trouble, that's true. That might be offside, hopefully it is. It is. Whew. Baru's entirely tired now. So, I guess given Baru's tiredness, we will play Christopher on the wrong wing. Yeah, we will do that. That or... Can Harsey play on the other side? Well, he did at some point. So, we'll do it like this. We'll bring Christopher for Baru, but we will play inverted winger on both sides. With some specific instructions, obviously. So... Take fewer risks, shoot less often, ease of tackles. I think he can cross, so that's fine. Dribbling is 8 on him. Yeah, well. And in case of Harsey, he can cross more often. That makes sense. Still ease of tackles, though. So we're hoping to shut down the middle of the pitch and just, well, go through there if we can. Some confidence on him. It's 3 minutes. What could possibly go wrong? RC Mendruk doesn't win the heading duel. That's really bad defending. Come on, Mazrin. As is this. Well played. Mazrin. Mazir again. Mazrin again. Long ball, Christopher. Wait, Christopher again. Christopher on the pitch. Does he make an impact? Good cross. RC. RC! The two did create a chance immediately. That could have been the winning goal. RC's entirely exhausted too now. Please tell me we get a point here. Faisal, Yuslan. Zaini. It's not intercepted. It's saved by Shin Sung. Wow. We'll encourage them. You can do this. Yuslan, Jamaludin, Faisal. Come on, don't let him score. It should. 3 minutes. Can we make it? It's another corner. One and a half minutes. We just need to make it past this corner. Chin Siu-sum is there to claim the ball. And hopefully there will be no mistake in defense from now. Yeah, would you please get away from my goalkeeper? Apparently he doesn't care. Amat. Ankun. That's not a good pass. Badrul Hisham. That's not a good pass either. It's intercepted immediately. Luckily it ends up with Maharzir. Amat. Mazrin. Still Mazrin. Drifts wide. And we lose the ball. We don't lose the ball. Mazrin. Good pass for Amat. Badrul Hisham. Can we get another chance actually? Amat. We get a goal! Holy fuck! I didn't expect that one. What a great result. That must be... that must be devastating for them. The Mohawk scores. Now obviously I will praise him. And I'm really happy with that result. If we make it. Last scene of the match most likely. Don't let him... Oh, it's another chance. Chin Siu-sum is there to save the game though. And obviously I want to waste time as much as possible. May also go for defensive mentality, but it's too late. No changes will come through anymore. This match is done. Mendruk, Ankun, good passing, Harsi. We try another angled goal. Just passing into space. That's it though! We win! Entirely, well, I'm not sure if this is deserved. It is within the realm of possibilities, that's for sure. Which one? Probably none of my players. Alright. We win! The one with 19 pace. Yeah, well, who was the first choice then? We win! I did not expect that. That's quite fantastic. I see. So, who's to blame for that one? I think his performance, Chin Siu-sum, was quite astounding. As was Badrul Hisham's, funnily enough. And who scored? Amat. Congratulations for the goal scoring. He's extremely delighted now. Okay. Zakaria was taken off because he didn't play well. I think we'll tell him. Well, players develop, right? And the further you go into a save, the more it is an alternate universe. So, as a result, you know, it's quite common. It deviates from reality at some point. That's just the way it is. So, maybe you made the right choice. Or you got lucky, or both. So, we will tell him that this is not good enough. That's it. So, I will include another break. And we have another hour until I want to watch real life football, so I guess we could make it to the next match maybe. So let's do that. BRB. The performance by Badrul Hisham is quite astounding. I did not expect this. The performance by Chin-Soo Sum, though, is even better. He did not play well last match, and it was entirely deserved that he was on the pitch, given the performance. So I'm really, really happy with this. He did bruise his hand, though. Apparently. That's new. Well, who's injured right now? Chin-Soo Sum for 2 days. And Cameroon in a little bit. Yeah, bruised hand will not be that much. So, to answer, I guess, your statement that the player never complains when you say he hasn't played well, so he most likely has low controversy. He follows your lead, which is good. So that's obviously a positive. I don't know, it's hard to judge a personality from here. So you've been stuck with him for a few seasons, I guess. As a result, you know him pretty well, and you know how to deal with him. There's so many aspects to Football Manager that you just need to learn. Not, like, I guess, in a general way, but also in getting the hang of how to deal with this player or that player. So what's next? Cymbeline. At home. A home match. Also, did I mention that we win that last match? 5 points now. We are still destined to get relegated. This season, next season, and all the seasons most likely. So this is a big win. Selangor will not know what hit him. Well, our goalkeeper hit him apparently. Or they did him. Yeah, hit him, most likely. Most of the time. This is really good. Also, Amat scored. With a long shot. His long shots is free. 3 friggin' points. He has 4 points of finishing. He still made it. If that's not good, I don't know what is. He also was instructed to shoot less often, so he picked that moment with a precision. Exactly what we needed. And apparently, somebody in the league in Armed Forces saved a penalty. Armed Forces won against Kelantan. Ouch. Okay. Let me have a look at that. Well, that's wrong. Armed Forces are not in the relegation zone. Kuala Lumpur City FC are, though. Okay. Good to know. Yeah. It also, well, I guess on the level you play, money is not that important anymore. You will probably have enough money, right? But in general, it's also You know, you want performance per dollar or euro or pound or whatever. So obviously, at a certain point, you need to pay as much as you can just to get top level performance, and money doesn't really matter anymore. But especially in the lower leagues, sometimes it's about the bang for the buck. And if Mokoko wants, I don't know, triple the wages of the other guy and you're happy with the other guy and he performs well, there's no reason to get Mokoko. Why would you? Your player is adapted, you know how to deal with him, it's fine. To have some sense of loyalty in this case, as a manager towards the own player, I think makes sense. Because you get good performances from them anyway. So that's alright. I'm trying to come up with an example. On my level, that would be, I don't know. It's a little bit hard. So I would say Elbok Chakstel, for example. On this level, he's a top striker. We did bring him in, he earns a ton for this squad. 300 euros a week is a lot for us, given that our wage budget is like 3.2k or something. So he's definitely star player here, or at least important player. It says star player. Anyway, I could come in and bring in a striker that has, I don't know, 2 points more finishing, 1 point more jumping and strength. And chances are I will find somebody that does a little bit better, but he would want, I don't know, 1,000. So the difference in wage is not worth it, because I need that money elsewhere. I can't spend it. But it does make sense to stick with him for now, and probably keep him until he starts to decline. So that's another 5 years. As long as we remain in this league. He won't develop much though, he's 26 now. Like, I don't expect much from him. And as you can see, there's barely any development. He shifted around a few attribute points, but that's about it. So that's the end of his, well, at least it is the end of his career, from a level perspective in this league. He would need to play in a superior league, and that won't happen. I'd rather have him available too. So I do not specifically need a focus here. I'd rather have him available and not get injured. So I decrease intensity in training for him a little bit. That's also due to the entire affair with no physios and so on. So that's a big concern, obviously. Okay. Next up is Sembilan. We do not have an analyst report, because why would we? They have a ton of weaknesses, according to this at least. So on paper they are shit. In reality though, they are fourth. 1 point more than we have. Whom did they play so far? They won against Johor DT. Are you kidding me? Okay, so they devastated Kuala Lumpur. Alright. Fine. I see that. But a win against Johor, that's big. That's really big. So, to prepare for the next match, what do we do? Well, don't know. It's still a home match. We will probably still start balanced. We did win this one. So I do not necessarily see the merit in big sweeping changes. Sweeping, swooping, I don't know. Words. Do we want to scout any of these matches? Sure, why not? Then again, our scouts will do that by themselves. They will determine where they go. Not bad, but all of these are way too expensive. He isn't. He's not that good though. So, going through all of these. I think I'm not interested in anyone here. Alright. So, what do you think so far? Just ordinary Canadian? Canadian. What the hell? Canadian. Would you take a guess? Will we manage not to get relegated this season? Given the circumstances of the club and all. How much would you be willing to bet on that? I'm not really taking bets. Just for fun. So, how do you play him? As an advanced forward? Poacher? Probably advanced forward given the attributes. Selamat doesn't train well, he trains well, he just doesn't develop. Yeah, advanced forward, okay. That makes sense, right? It's what he's good at, so sure. Then as long as, then you need a providing player, you probably have some sort of playmaker, or your players can just play really nice angled balls behind the defensive line. Then you're gold most of the time. That's not bad. So it seems like they got used to covering him to a degree though. 10 goals less. So you might also have changed some stuff in the formation or something. So that might have an impact. Let's see. I want my physio back. Which reminds me. Let's have a look, but probably... Yeah, we can't afford any roles here. We still looking for a physio, still offering any contract. They want 320. We can offer 50. Well, so he just needs to keep it. Like a goal matches, so that's outlandishly good, I think. In general. There's... If I look at the comparison for the Bundesliga for now, so top goal scorers in the Bundesliga right now are Harry Kane with 24 goals and Girassi with 17. Harry Kane did it in how many matches? Harry Kane scored 24 in 21 matches and 5 assists for Bayern Munich, whilst Serhou Girassi managed to score 17 in 14 matches with 1 assist. I might also mention that Dennis Undav, second striker, well, second striker is unfair, in Stuttgart, scored 13 in an appropriate amount of matches. How much was it? In 17 matches, with 5 assists provided, so that's a ton of stuff. So approximately 1 goal and or assist per match is really, really good. That's top level usually for the league. So I would argue 4 goals in 4 matches is just fine. Elwood Chakstel, funnily enough, managed to score 1 in 3 matches so far, and that was a penalty. So the role as a defensive forward goes to the detriment of his goal scoring. That said, we are now second best in the league with goals conceded so far. That might be more down to the goalkeeper, but maybe the impact of the striker is also visible here. We will know at the end of the season, really, if all of my tactical blundering had a positive impact. I do think, though, it's better not to concede. So that improves ratings all over the squad, basically. I'd rather for everyone to have 6.6 or 6.7 rating, and to compensate for these 6.3 and 6.4s, than to have a striker that's on an 8 point something in one match and on a 6.6 in the other. But yeah, has good development. What do I do with one striker that wants to leave later? I want the team to develop in aggregate. So that's what I'm going for. We will continue all of this. That's interesting. So we have the opportunity to play somebody under 21s. And Amat did make an impact recently. So we'll give him 45 minutes here. Singh didn't make an appearance, so he will play 90 minutes. And Da Costa Lima didn't play at all. He will also play 90 minutes, no problem. Sembilan will be tough to beat. Yes, it will be. Isha should be offered a professional contract, and I do not agree. I think his finishing is great. He also has good bravery, but this is still an example. This is a good example for a striker, I think. So, as a poacher, he probably won't do. Just due to his bad anticipation. We're talking about an 18-year-old though, so poacher might work. Technique is bad though. First touch is bad, so yeah. That's hard. In any of the other roles, it's even worse. There's so much missing here that goes alongside finishing, for example. Well, that's not true. But he can finish. Composure and decisions are there, so that's alright. But it's really the only thing he can do. So as a striker he might do, but he will not contribute much otherwise. For example, he has 11 points of heading, but 1 point of jumping reach. What do I do with 11 points of heading on somebody that can't jump? Nabidin is a very similar story. You will always get a striker that has some sort of finishing, but other attributes on a striker are hard to come by sometimes. That said, finishing is vital, but if you can't include a player type, what do you want to do with that? So we focus on transition phase, because they employ a number of quick forwards. Yeah, exactly. So he will develop the mentals and all, but then it's a question of cost of opportunity again. Because for him to develop, he will need time on the pitch. And if I compare this to somebody else that I have within my own squad, he's unambitious. I guess at least he's level-headed. So he has some sense of loyalty, but no ambition. It might be that he's also fairly professional or something, not in the personality aspect, but yeah. In terms of he has some sort of professionalism. I don't know though. I do know about his development. And his development overall is basically inexistent. So he doesn't show great potential for now, even though it says here. As a result, I think I will give the playing time to somebody else, because some other player will make more of the experience. So I don't know, him for example. I don't think he's much better. But he has flexibility, he has decent personality, I know for sure. So I will probably stick to him. That's subject to change, obviously. There might always be an opportunity for a change there, because I realized that I've been wrong or something. That's how it works. So it says here we should play Mendruk instead of Carrier. Mendruk? Holy shit, no. I would play Mars here there, maybe. He also trains well, so that's definitely an appropriate point for Carrier. And how's Fakrullah doing? Well. He does well. Look at these training ratings. That's not fantastic just yet, but it's way better. Much appreciated. I should also have a look at Zakaria probably. Oh, look, he gained half a point, at least according to the assistant manager or whoever. Not bad. Progress is... For somebody playing Football Manager, this is as close as it gets to porn, I guess. Yeah, development porn, if you want to phrase it that way. I like it. So the last match though was shitty. What was bad about it? We will criticize the lack of chances created. He's a midfielder, so that counts. Did have good tackling though, I will not comment on it. Anyway, short break and then we'll make it to the match. So a message came up. Mr. Harsh Singh has perfected his ability to play as a left defender, which is fairly good. He also trains well, and to be honest, I did not expect that. So, in case Cheryl Nonnett watches this later on, yeah, he had the idea to use Harsh Singh. And it seems like the fickle personality and all, that's not too much of a negative impact so far. So attribute development obviously has been shitty. But he's been training for this position. So now he can improve the role. Maybe. And that comes with some playing time on the pitch, I think. He's still on the youth contract. He did play on the under-21s recently. We'll probably take him along next match. That or we use Kamarudin. He just came back from sprained ankle ligaments though. Go away menu. How's the hierarchy? Zakaria is still not an important player. Well, we will see. Negeri Sembilan FC. First home match of the season. So what do we expect? Hard to tell. Now Zakaria's star rating dropped again. So we'll go through praising them, I guess. This is good. Shin-Soo Sum is in wonderful form, I think, at this point. Given the last match's performance, that was really good. Mahazir trains well. With the short impacts he has on the pitch, I'm very happy. So I think we will get him started. His positioning is really bad though. That's highly concerning. That said, he has some pace and some acceleration, so hopes are he can compensate for the bad positioning. Harsh Singh we just mentioned. RC, didn't expect much of him. So far his training rating is fine. Khairil Amat that's just a regular bench player at best. He does train well though, so if we give him playing time at some point, he will convert it into some actual development, most likely. Alright. And Mazrin. Below a 7.5, I have a hard time praising all of them. I don't think I will. And Yilma, same as always. That's not good enough. It's the same for Baru, Diego, Christopher. Baru's pissed because he thinks we do too much strength training. I have no idea what he's going on about. There's no strength training whatsoever in the squad. Diego apparently developed positive attributes. Yeah, I do. So, one of your defenders pushed somebody. That happens. But I always think this is down to dirtiness in the end. A player shouldn't do that. So let's comment on the last match. This is outstanding. He had 8 saves. 8. Well, if it's always the same guy, have a look at it. Because I think dirtiness is a hidden attribute that is hard to come by. But what's his... So first of all, is he a new gen? And second of all, what's his personality and what's his media handling? And what's his determination? Because from that sample you can determine the hidden attributes. You probably know, right? I'm praising to the choir here. Yeah, new gen. Okay. So slap him into a personality calculator and find out the range. If this is something you're willing to do. If it feels like well, if this feels like a gamey territory to you, then just have a look at the personality and the media handling and try to determine it yourself. But say he's, I don't know, say he's outspoken and volatile or something. That is more a reflection of controversy, though. But still, he might not be very sporting, for example, and have high dirtiness. So as a result, maybe he's just want to sell. But it's a trade-off. He's fairly pro, okay. So fairly pro is a good personality in general. Do you have his media handling? Because fairly pro on its own basically says, well, it says none of the attributes is really shitty, because otherwise it would dominate the personality. And it says professionalism, media friendly. Okay, so that's one of the in-between things. Fairly professional reflects professionalism, I think. 15 and above, 15 to 17, I think. And 18 and 19 is professional, and 20 is model professional, or something like this. Don't, like, I might be off a point or two. So that dominates his personality. Media friendly implies he's happy to talk to the press. I would argue somebody being happy to talk to the press is a bad thing. It is very common, though. Like, this is the average thing. So, but for example, he could be level-headed. Level-headed would imply some loyalty on top of that. So it depends. How's the rest of your squad? Is it likely that he will lose some of the dirtiness and some of the bad attributes that you assume are there? Because fairly professional. My thoughts on the mercenary personality. Well, get rid of it? I mean, it depends. It can be a player that has really high ambition and so on. And he might have really high... How do I put this? He might have really high potential. So you might want to cope with it. But that's a rare occasion. And usually the player will move on anyway. He has no sense of loyalty whatsoever. So chances are he will be expensive. And he will start to complain at the first glance. That's just the way a mercenary works. He's perfectly happy to move. It's the extreme negative side of ambition, basically. He's most likely to have ambition, so he will develop somewhat. But he will not care about your club under any circumstance. So if there's a bigger club, he will move. Or better money, or whatever. You know, as the word says. Yeah, of course. Of course he does. Yeah, of course. So as a result, you will rarely have him happy. And it also has an impact on the remainder of the squad. Just think about the team. You can also think about it from a real-life perspective. If there's a person in the team that gets better money just for complaining all the time, every single time they do, chances are the rest of the team will will basically feel, how do I put this? They will not feel well because he gets all of the gratification for not doing anything other than complaining, and they get nothing. So accordingly, they demand more because they think they deserve it too. So it has a negative impact on the whole of the team. And I'm not talking about a shift in personality, I'm talking about the wage structure and all that stuff. You have things going on there. So these things are impacted. Anyway, speaking of money, BRB. So doesn't like big matches goes away at some point. I think it's consistency and the reluctance to like big matches. This. And, well, there's no notion of big matches here, so he's average, but I don't know, Baru has both. These two, they develop throughout their careers. It's a hidden attribute, consistency as well as enjoying big matches, so you can't see it. You see it in the report here. Well, a career. So, it really depends. If a player starts out, I don't know, do I have anyone? The problem is I do not tend to I do not tend to sign very inconsistent performers. This should be focusing on becoming more consistent at his stage of development. This will not go away. Like, let's wait for 5 years and then it will be fairly inconsistent or something. So, if you play him all the time, obviously, way better. But in this case, for example, he's professional but very inconsistent. So, there's some motivation to play this player because I think he will develop. And there's some motivation to cope with this. If he were to be a mercenary, I would throw him out. It's too much. There's just other things to consider there. But you know, there's always also the thing. The further up in the pyramid you are, the less opportunity to have a player that has the potential to play with you have, because it's just such a rare occasion. Yeah. But just keep him around or loan him out, let others play him. He can get consistency in other leagues. Or cope with it. But be aware that you might concede on random occasions just due to that. Alright, we need to deal with the next match though. I need to hurry a little bit because there's real life football coming up. So, what do we do here? He has low bravery, low strength, good dribbling overall, sadly. Bad passing. Likes to beat the offside trap. In general, this is a decent striker, but not a wonderful one. He might be informed though. Yeah, that makes sense. Let him develop and preferably loan him to squads that have a squad personality that you appreciate. So, for me, that would be professionalism. So if you find a club with high professionalism as a squad personality, and on top of that maybe a good academy, some sort of, yeah. But then again, the star potential is determined by your coaching staff, so it might be way off. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. Football Manager basically does a regression on previous development and just estimates what's going on forward. So I would take with a handful of salt, if that makes sense. So he can pass a ball. He knocks the ball past the opponent. He can't dribble though. As a result, including the bravery is okay, but the strength is low. As a result, I think we can probably knock him off the ball, and we can also show him to the inside. That makes sense to me. Shan, bad passer, which is good. So what's the problem here? He's a good finisher. So I'd rather for him not to have the ball. That's stupid. But it is what it is. So we mark him out of the game despite being a good passer. That said, he's fast enough, so probably won't do that. I'll leave this open. I don't know. His passing's shitty though, so hopefully he will not make much of an impact. This dribbling is fine, jumping reach and strength are really low, off the ball movement is a bit low. Bad passing, show him to the inside, and that's it. Depends on the squad. And, well, I tend to stick to those that play well. But if things are going well, I try to sub players on earlier in the match. So that has an impact, obviously, because every minute above minute 15 basically counts. You need to sub them on to give them playing time for the experience too, and blah blah blah. There's also an added bonus if you sub them on in at minute 45. So if a player makes a whole half, there's an added benefit to sharpness as well as experience, I think. If I'm not, it might be one of the two only, but yeah, there's something going on there. And as you can clearly see, I didn't rotate much for now. But that's due to the fact that the quality of the players on the pitch is higher than the ones on the bench. And I tend to keep it that way. Also, we have to deal with all of the foreign player rules. So once I replace the goalkeeper, for example, there's one additional foreign player slot available. So then I can rotate the rest of the stuff a little bit more easier. I backed myself into a corner there, if you want to put it that way. So that all influences the decision here, to rotate or not. But say Baru, for example, here, he doesn't play well recently. The 6.56 rating is very consistently bad. He has high consistency and, well, his skill is shitty. But the alternative is Da Costa Lima. And Da Costa Lima is a foreign player that I cannot afford due to the rules right now. So I would need to throw somebody off that is a foreign player. I could also try to play the Indian guy, but he's not really a winger. He's an attacking midfielder, actually. So, as a result, Baru still starts. But I would be willing to rotate him. And I did rotate Carrier, for example. Just because I think Maharsir trains really well. He deserves to play. So, well, good luck with that. It's none of your concern once he's gone, right? You just need a replacement. Or, I don't know, you might not. But don't upset the rest of the squad with it. Maybe they love him. If he's very important to the squad, you might be forced to keep him. I don't know. So, he plays good passes. Holy fuck. That's a ton of money. But sometimes it's better to take the cash and sign somebody else that you feel is more appropriate for the squad. So, if you have a replacement, sure. Just be aware that, adaptability plays a role again. If you bring in a foreign player, for example, and he really hates living in your country and so on. I'm not aware of who Vinny is, so... Also, you're in 2030 or something, you said? So, the player development has been all over the place now. Whatever you know in real life. Okay, yeah, I don't know that player either. Sorry. But that doesn't say much. I rarely follow football outside Germany, so... We tackle him hard, and we mark him out of the match, I think. His off-the-ball movement's shitty. He's bad on the physical side, and he definitely can play a pass. So we will avoid that. Okay. I'm really not aware. It will not get any better. Sorry. Okay. Well, if that's a good signing, but, 7 years later, he might be good, he might be bad. You might get another new Gen wonder kid that's more appropriate. It's for you to decide. I can't tell you. He knocks the ball past the opponent. We need to trigger the press on him. And what else is there to do? Show him to the weaker foot. Is he weak on the physical side? Yes, he is. I talk too much. Twitch wants me to do another break, so I will slap that in and do some additional opposition instructions alongside it. Rosemini. Same here. Hard tackling. Passing slow. Low first touch. Let's want to close down that field. And leave him open. They can play through him. He has 6 points of passing. Crossing's good though, so maybe show him to the weaker foot. Hasn't he? Can't jump. So that's an easy win. The rest of the stuff is rather low. Passing's okay-ish. That's lowish passing, bad dribbling, bad stamina. No, stamina's fine, bad strength. Same, case of a hard tackle, I think. For a central defender. And this jumping is free. This jumping is free too. This jumping is 5. So, as a result, we'll not close him down. Thoughts on Leverkusen? Well deserved, I would argue. So they just beat Stuttgart in the cup, and I was quite unhappy about the way it went, because I guess I'm a supporter of Stuttgart somewhat, given that I was born there. But I think they got lucky in that match. But they are unbeaten, if I'm not mistaken, for the entire season. That's astounding. One of the only clubs that was unbeaten until this match day in Germany was in League 2 St. Pauli. And they are top of the league. So I think it's well deserved, and also Bayern Munich really are not in the shape that you can argue that they should win the league at all. In fact, I think Bayern Munich do not underperform in an appropriate manner just yet. So from what I've seen from Bayern Munich, I think Bayern Munich should be way lower. The only problem is Stuttgart fucked it up from time to time as number 1 followers, and Dortmund are in no shape to compete with Bayern Munich either. I think I agree, actually. But then again, but I guess that's just a thought. But maybe they did not sign Nagelsmann for the long term anyway. They signed him to avoid the long term with RB Leipzig, I think. And they did avoid the long term assignment of Nagelsmann in Leipzig, so it was a success. But that's not what you want to hear as a supporter, and obviously Bayern Munich would deny it. But he wasn't that long with Bayern Munich, and it was well worth the money. And that's just irregular Bayern Munich behavior. They do it with the players. They do it with the managers. Just think of what's Abel's first name? The former Gladbach manager and former Leipzig manager. He had very good performances at Gladbach with his squad. He basically reshaped the entire squad for a few seasons. And is it Martin Abel? Anyway, talks about him moving to Bayern Munich has been all over the press in Germany for years now. And that's just weakening the opposition by including controversy or injecting controversy. That's typical Bayern Munich behavior. So they do this with players, they do this with non-playing staff. This is the way they behave. And that's also the way, that's the reason why Bayern Munich are so divisive in Germany. Because in the end, I think there's a lot of the behavior of Bayern Munich representatives that can be considered to be an appropriate target for hate is a strong word, but dislike or discontent. So, yeah, I think it's entirely reasonable to dislike that. So, I do. I'm also from Stuttgart, so, you know, it makes sense not to like Bayern Munich due to regional differences. Then again, I feel like Stuttgart are overperforming right now. So this is the feel-good story of the season, but it will not last. You and me both. Well, there might be... Depends. If it's PSG... or, I don't know, Barcelona, Real Madrid... I usually just don't watch these. So... But I guess there's also the saying, everybody loves an underdog. So... I get that, yes. Liverpool? Oh. I don't know. I didn't find anything that appealing at Liverpool's behavior recently. So, don't know. Then again, I don't follow the English football that much. Oh, I fucked something up. It's too late now. Okay. Let's go to the dressing room. That will change tactics a little bit. So, I just realized I forgot to put in the floated crosses again. And also, same as always, well, same as the last few times, we will trap them on the inside too. The inside player is a good finisher, and the attacking midfielder in the center, but that's about it. I think the wingers are much more threatening. I stand corrected. Still, we will do it anyway. Show them to the inside. Let's not give them space. Okay, dressing room. So, what's there to say? This is a home match. We are still the underdogs. So I think I'll encourage them. No impact whatsoever. He did so well last time out. More of the same. I guess I like you a little bit more now. I didn't know that this was possible, but yeah. It's very easy on the hard. Bajrul Hisham played really well too. So he can pick off where he left off last time. Fakrullah didn't play well. Mahazir, first time starting. He's motivated now. Mazrin, how did he play last time? Oh! It's his 50th appearance for the club. So we will tell him he should enjoy the occasion. He doesn't care. Zakaria. Can we pile on the pressure on a 17-year-old? He is very inconsistent, yeah, it certainly shows. No notion of big matches. Not sure. I'd rather encourage him. Ankun. Ankun does enjoy big matches and he's a consistent performer, so we will tell him to increase his performances. He doesn't care. Diego. Diego is fairly consistent but doesn't enjoy big matches, so I'd rather encourage him. Let's not pressure him too much. Baru. Baru is inconsistent. Well, he's consistent and I think he enjoys big matches. The problem is he plays badly. So, seen from that perspective, let's pile on the pressure and hope it works. Doesn't care. RC, I think we signed him for similar reasons, didn't we? Enjoys big matches, very consistent. Same here. doesn't care, and we will encourage him. Alright, that's it for the preparation of the match. So, stick with me. I will need to include a longer ad break, because I do not want to do an ad break in the middle of the match. So, we will do that now, and then we will watch this match, and then I will watch real-life football. BRB. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our match against, I forgot the name already. It's Endpoint Sembilan. Whatever Endpoint stands for. Nigeri Sembilan FC. I should know. Anyway, we will face them at home, so stadium's entirely deserted as always. And this is, I guess this will determine who goes to the middle of the table and who can remain in the top level of the table for now. So let's hope that we will get a good result. Given that we were really lucky with the last one, we might stand a chance. Because these players are way worse. They might be really motivated though. Well, how about a yellow card for starters? That would be good. No, that's not good enough. Offside. Okay. 100% possession, we'll keep it that way. Never mind, it's 19 now. Saleh, Abu Bakar. Nice long cross, Maharsir heads the ball away. Okay, that ends up with Chinchilsum. We barely have any possession whatsoever here. For whatever reason. I don't know why. Zakaria, Ankun, elbow chucks Dale, skips past his man, and that's a good save by the goalkeeper. Wow. That feels like an attribute that is not exactly needed on a center back. Yeah, but this is just the way of things, if you play in the Premier League or something. And that's headed over the goal, sadly. We do have our chances with the floated crosses though. Saleh with a throw in, Abu Bakar again. Yet another cross. Far post header that goes over the goal. We get lucky. I see. Modrozman. Zakaria's on the ball now. Bakrula. I feel like playing Zakaria as a halfback could be... I don't know if that's the appropriate way to do it, really. It comes at the detriment of reasonable build-up play, doesn't it? Nice ball by Ankun. Baru. Yes! He cuts inside, so... yeah. So, he has a trait that does not really complement his playing style as a central defender. And that just happens. Well, if you play him on the wing or in central midfield, let me guess, he has a stronger right foot, and maybe he's somewhat used to playing on the wing somewhere. Dead, or he learned it somewhere. There's also always the player generation that just comes with some weird mixes. And it's just not appropriate. But you probably won't be able to unlearn it either because he's not bad at it. It's like not bad enough. So we need to make it through this match. RC. It's another foul by Martuki. What the hell is going on with this guy? He has 11 points of tackling and, well, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I got that. So... Yeah, but that doesn't say much about where did he learn it. Bakrula. Bajrul Hisham. And we retain possession. Diego. That's not really creative. Mahazir, Ankun, that's not creative either, and it might be offside. Mazrin, it's not offside. Okay. Well, yes, in a way. If he's right-footed, it does make sense. Or at least either-footed. Then it could make sense, but, you know, hard to determine. So, we are somewhat well in control of the game. Holy shit. The goalkeeper saves this one. The floated crosses seem to work nicely so far. Create a lot of chances for us. Close him down! Well played, Diego. Good tackle. That's well intercepted too. We do funnel play into the middle of the pitch. That's a corner. Of course it is. Yeah. Well, I would definitely take a player like this. Funnily enough, this combination is usually very impactful for pressing forwards. And I guess for box-to-box midfielders. Then again, this is circular reasoning, right? You already told me he can play box-to-box. But there's a few rules in football. Yeah, definitely. Well, then again, anyone could that plays in the Premier League. Or wherever it is. Mendu. No offside. Saleh, well intercepted by Badrul Hisham. That was a really bad first touch by them. Okay, Zakaria, interesting choice. 10 points of finishing are... Elbuk Chastel has 8. So, I would take that. I couldn't pay him though. Diego. Ankun, will there be another nice long ball? No, there isn't. Well, in a way. I was thinking about an angle ball behind defense. That won't happen. Ankun, Badrul Hisham, Baru again. He will take a second shot. On his weaker foot. Over goal. Could have been a second one. Small fee. I'll take that money. Intercepted? No, he doesn't. That could have been offside, it isn't. It was a bad shot though. So... The first half seems to go in our favor so far. This is dangerous. Way dangerous, yes. Amri Saleh with the equalizer. It's been disallowed. Why? Offside. Oh, great. Good stuff. Fine. So we are still in front. Let's have a look at this. I think we'll just praise him and hope that it inspires confidence and gives them fuel for another goal. And we did create loads, so that's fine. Nobody really falls off that much. I think maybe Mazarin and Badrul Hisham a little bit. That helped. Any other comments? Probably not. Don't want to touch him too much. We could praise Ankun. That's really good. We'll praise Ankun. Now he's extremely delighted, hopefully that helps. So, 30-second break and then we will watch the second half. One second half coming right up. Can we make it? Can we keep the 3 points here? That's a player that can do everything. At least according to your description. Zakaria is way up front now, for some reason. They push up really high, don't they? Interesting. Very interesting. So we will try to pass into space a little bit. Waste time. We'll keep it at that. So basically he has everything. By the way, you could also, just in case that's something you want to do, I'm not sure. You can also just make a screenshot and put it on a Discord server for the stream, so everybody can see it later on. So, it would be way easier to type it out all the time. Just putting that out there. Good pass. Bad pass. Well, it ended up with Mazarin, so I guess that counts. Mazarin. We retain possession. Marzir. Diego. Harsi. That's offside, isn't it? Yeah, great. Just put it in the general chat. That's what it's there for. Harsi... Oh, that could have been a far post header by Zakaria. We didn't get it though. Everybody seems to be encouraged and all. So that's fine. Can we score a second? That would mean we'll wake it. Come on, Ankun. That's not good. Harsi intercepts though. Not bad. Another cross floated in. Way past elbow check still, sadly. Will Badrul Hisham's cross be any better? It's not a cross, it's a low pass. That was interesting. Didn't expect that. Elbow check still, takes a free kick. That's the wrong way. Harsi should have taken that and elbow check still. Being at the end, maybe, would have been a better idea. Fakrullah Zakaria, he knows how to play good passes, he just doesn't do it. Maharzir. Simple pass, which is fine. That's not a simple pass by Marse. This is great. What an opportunity. It's another corner only. Will I demand more here? Minute 60. So, on this occasion, for example, I don't know if I would rotate. I want to. We are very much in the lead. We do dominate the match at this point, not from a possession perspective, but we are fine. The problem is, I don't know if it will go to the detriment of the squad once I start replacing players. But, for example, no, this is their players. But, for example, Badrul Hisham and some of the other guys. Hi, welcome to the server. So, for example, Elbok still is exhausted. There's a reasonable argument to be made that we should replace him. That's always the case in recent matches. He does play a lot. So, we'll bring on Guti. He can still jump. And will we replace anyone else? Probably not. Not for now. The rest of them, like, well, everybody seems to play well. So hopes are good he can make an impact. It would be really great. He's pleased. 20 minutes. $15. The physical attributes on this guy are great. Well, all of it, basically. Yeah, I see. These are not bad. Don't let him score. I just need to focus on the match, you know? Somewhat. Yeah, but these are the players you talked about, sure. These are great. So maybe one of the others has an opinion on them too, later on. Some of the Americans might still be, I guess it's not asleep anymore. Yeah. Decent. For me, these are life-changing. I guess for you, they're decent. Is there a foreign player rule where you play? Not really. You don't have foreign player rules other than them, like, I guess the point-based system, right? That's a thing. Yeah. Okay, so we have 5 minutes to go. Some of the players are tired. We will need to replace some of them, and I will need to re-instruct them out again. I forgot that. Yeah. I'm vaguely aware of how it works. Shooting less often, dribbling less, easy enough tackle, that's all fine. So very easy stuff. He can play penetrating passes though, if it comes to it. And Mazarin's tired, so Harsh Singh will have a 5-minute appearance. Can he cross more often? I don't know. Probably not. So he will get football for idiots, basically. Fewer risks, dribbling less shooting, less crossing. Does he need to ease off tackles? Yes, he does. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's manageable. You might run into it if you're... Well, you might run into the limit if you're one of these people that sign foreign players all the time and don't care about anything. But then again, you will probably find most of the well-developed talent within England anyway. So it makes sense that you will not have much of a problem with that. Maharsia has a decent game. Fakrullah too. No use replacing them, I think. I could bring on Khairil Amat, but it's only a 1-goal lead, so I don't want to do that. Christopher and McManamy are available. Ankun has a good game. I guess playing Christopher is appropriate here. We'll do it the same as last time, I think. We'll bring on Christopher and just switch these. So now they play as inverted wingers both. And we'll try to go through the middle again. That should somewhat. I think he has good crossing, doesn't he? I always forget. We should pre-instruct this. Yeah, but easing off tackles is a thing for him. So, hopes are again, we go through the middle in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he doesn't really have an impact in a negative way, that's good. And we can tell him to ease off tackles and cross less often. I think Hars is not that good crossing. He's very good crossing, never mind, I'm bad. We will cross more often. Alright. That's it. And we keep the last stoppage in case somebody gets hurt. Get out there. Get the additional goal. Just get the additional goal. That's really all I want. Or make it to the end of the match. Also, we can probably waste time as much as possible these days. Well intercepted. Mahasir has a great game. Given that his positioning is 6, this is a really impressive performance so far. Long shot. Mahasir heads it towards the goalkeeper. No problem so far. Here's somebody else on a yellow card now. We can also play down the left, because there's a guy on the yellow card. And not sure what the other one was the right back, I guess. And we will waste time frequently. We'll also do defensive. Dangerous. Well done. That will be another corner. I don't want to praise him. I have a hard time determining what to do here. Zakaria with the defensive header. 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time. And Marzuki has a good chance. We get lucky. Jinseo Sum with a long kick for whatever reason. Ooh! Guti's there. Christopher, fresh on the pitch. Will he draw the second yellow card? He doesn't. He gets a penalty, that's even better! Who will take it though? Elbuk Chakstel's no longer on the pitch, so I'm not sure if we have a decent penalty taker here. RC. Okay. Still hits it. 2-0. Second win in a row. We have it. And I might add, playing 2 inverted wingers certainly increased the odds for something like this. So I'm very happy with it. Now we go defensive mode, do not concede, and that's it. Don't care about anything else. Free kick. And also, obviously, we can praise him. Mine too. This is, we got lucky within this season so far. So, now we do defensive football. We didn't really change much. They should be somewhat used to it, and if we concede a goal, that will not be the end of the world. I'd rather not, though. And in general, well, we could also sub on somebody, but it doesn't matter anymore. Who would that be? McManamy, probably for Ankun. Doesn't matter much. Just get out there. Do what you can. Fakrullah! That could have been the third. Not bad! We'll have another corner. RC Maharsir does not get to the ball. He does at second attempt. Guti! Goal scoring by our Indian youngster. There we go. This is what happens on 4 points of finishing and no long shots either. Sometimes stuff just goes your way. It's really meaningless, the goal, but it is, I guess it is important for him. Also, in case Mies watches this later on, well, there you go, Mies. He can't score. In Germany we call these a Sunday shot. Roughly translated. implying that there was more than a hint of luck about that. I'm really happy with this performance now. And that's way offside and also outside. So, doesn't matter anymore. And I'm happy. Guti's on a 7.7 rating now with that long shot. German phrases, what do you want me to say? We have a few seconds, so... as long as it's politically appropriate, I will happily say something in German. Doesn't matter much. Just something common. So I can comment on the game. Ich denke, mit dem Ergebnis des Spiels können wir sehr zufrieden sein. Und ich hoffe mal, dass wir die Performance für die Zukunft dann wiederholen können. So, I said, I think we can be very happy with the performance of this match, and I'm hoping that we can repeat it. Also, this is probably the best performance of the entire season so far. First half didn't really go our way. Second half, well, we barely created anything, but neither did they. And in the end, that was clinical. Right? The penalty obviously had a big impact. And then that second finish by Guti, wow. He's not called Guti, he's called Guit or something. Guit. Vandlal PK Guit. Well, whatever. I'm very happy with this. There's no reason to doubt anyone here, I think. A 6.8 rating by Mazrin wasn't that impressive. Bayern München ist Zweiter in der Liga. Und ich hoffe, dass es so bleibt. And I'm hoping it remains that way. Wonderful. So, to wrap up the episode, we had a surprise win against Selangor and a 3-0 victory at home against St. Billen. So I'm very, very happy about the results today. Special thanks to our just ordinary Canadian for watching, and also welcome to the Discord server. I hope to see you again tomorrow, maybe. And also some of the others. And in case you watch this later on YouTube, why are you not on Twitch yet? Then again, thanks for watching. So, you might as well subscribe or something. Join the Discord, whatever. Take part in the conversation. Did I forget anything? I'm starting to get the hang on this streaming and YouTube thing, maybe. Anyway, good day to you, Mr. Just an ordinary Canadian. It's a tongue breaker, really. And thanks for being around. See you next time. Bye.